we're gonna watch something that's a little creepy. So you can see the background. There's probably some that creepy forest that I like to use. Um, we're gonna watch a video called "The Creepiest Interviews Ever Conducted," and most likely these are probably interviews by psycho nutbag killers and stuff. I've heard I've heard interviews from some of the most notorious, killers, and it's just like, yo, these guys were straight crazy even before they even went on a murder spree or something like that. But yeah, here we go. Let's check this out. Thank you. Here we go. Now,
interviews are an age-old way of entering the minds of criminals. Whether it be through interrogations, interviews with the media, or conversations with specialists, there have been several different clips that have spread of terrible people giving interesting and thought-provoking interviews. So that's what we're going to be having a look at today. So here are the creepiest interviews ever conducted. Number 1. Gary Ridgway is widely considered to be the worst and most prolific serial killer in American history.
Look at his eyes.
He was convicted of killing 49 people, but confessed to killing 71, a number that is higher than any other serial killer in the United States. Obviously, people were quite fascinated with Ridgway, and a while after his conviction, an interview was conducted with him where he talked about a number of things, from killing small animals to fantasizing about killing his own mother. He goes into detail about some of the things that made him the monster that he is, and surprisingly he is quite soft-spoken and reserved. Given the circumstance, the interview isn't very professional, and Ridgway is talked into giving many answers that he may have ignored otherwise. However, it's still an interesting deep dive into the mind of a monster.
Living things?
Living things, killing animals.
Okay.
Killing animals. I stabbed a kid one time. The boy was playing, I stabbed him in the side and didn't kill him. But that's what I took my aggression on. I couldn't take it on my mom. I had to take it on my animals and
How many
the
animals
kids.
did you kill?
I killed a lot of birds, but one cat suffocated it in a...
Okay, so walk me through what you were going to do with the knife in your head to your mother.
Cut her throat.
oh my God,
Number 2.
crazy bastard!
Arthur Shawcross was an American serial killer who had a very bizarre story that is commonly used as an example of the flawed justice system in the United States. He was initially charged with a 5-year sentence after committing a number of crimes like arson and burglary, but he was released 22 months into this sentence after he rescued a guard from a prison
Are
raid.
you
However, his crimes didn't stop after his release. In 1972, he murdered a 10-year-old boy and an 8-year-old girl, but surprisingly, he only served 14 years in jail for his crimes. He was released in 1987 after inexperienced prison staff stated that he was not dangerous. Less than a year later, Shawcross began killing his second series of victims. This time he murdered 12 people in less than 2 years. He was eventually caught in January 1990, and while he was in prison, he gave a chilling interview where he talked about being evil, his victims, and more. He describes a specific woman he killed, 59-year-old Dorothy Keeler, who Shawcross had paid to clean his house. It's chilling to watch him callously describe killing Dorothy, and it gives us a glimpse into his demented mind.
crazy bastard?
She used to live in my house, or my apartment, for a while.
Was she a friend?
She was, till she started stealing stuff out of the house. I asked her, why you stealing? And she said, she needed money. And I said, you have a bank account. I was paying her $4.25 an hour just to clean the apartment.
For
So she was thieving from you.
She was taken from me and my wife Rose.
Does that warrant killing her?
Huh?
Does that warrant killing her?
Well, to me it did.
that's some bullshit.
She was found with her head removed. Did you? Is that?
That's right.
How did that happen?
Easy, just pick it up and move it.
This guy
Pull
is.
the head off.
Yeah, it was already off.
Number 3.
So you.
Ed Edwards was an American serial killer from Ohio who killed at least 5 people in the span of 20 years. from the 70s to the mid-90s. He committed a number of crimes in his 20s and 30s that landed him in and out of jail, but in 1967 he was released, and he claimed that he was a reformed man and even got married and had kids. Unfortunately, this wasn't true, as Edwards was consistently killing people while pretending to live a normal life. In 1977 he killed 2 people, and 3 years later he committed another double murder. And finally, in 1996, he murdered an adopted child that he had taken in as a part of an insurance scam.
Oh my
Many
God!
people stated that Edwards was involved in a number of other crimes because of how easily he got away with these ones. He wasn't apprehended until 2009, 32 years after his first murder.
What?
He was described as being conniving and charismatic and has been linked to a number of other murders. The biggest being a claim that he is the Zodiac Killer.
Oh my...
As he was in Northern California at the same time, it is entirely possible that Edwards was one of the worst serial killers in American history. In 2010, a year after he was arrested, Edwards spoke in an interview about the incident regarding the adopted boy and actually stated that he deserved the death penalty. He stated that this was because of his guilt, but many people assumed it was because he was already dying anyways and he wanted to go in a more peaceful and public manner. He sort of got his wish, as he was given the death penalty, but he died in 2011 due to natural causes. This interview is a strange and haunting reminder of his crimes, and it's interesting to look at now for that reason.
The duffel bag is, for example, down here where my feet. And Danny is squatted down and he's taking his hand, he's going through the bottom of the duffel bag trying to find the cigarettes. And I'm standing right here. And I have the sawed-off shotgun, and I ease it out of the bag while Danny's down there looking. And I put the shotgun kind of right here over his shoulder, right down here, easy, and I pulled the trigger. And it was a single shot. And so I put another shell in it and pulled it, the trigger, and he fell on over. He had he did not know that he was going to get shot. I didn't threaten him in any way. I felt bad, but apparently not bad enough that I kept from doing it. He was stealing from my children, and I'm very close to my family in that respect.
Number 4.
That's...
Richard Ramirez was an American
Oh,
serial
God!
killer who terrorized the city of Los Angeles in the mid-1980s. He killed at least 14 people and was dubbed the Night
Stalker.
by the media. He gained a large following and a lot of interest after his arrest because of his looks and how young he was, but also because he took part in a number of interviews where he showed no remorse for his crimes. In one interview, he admits that he is evil, and while he rarely talks about his own crimes, he talks about the concept of murder and good versus evil on numerous occasions, and it gives listeners a glimpse into the depraved mind of Richard Ramirez.
You admit to being
He
evil?
look at his...
We are all evil.
Look at his
in
face!
some form or another. Are we not? Yes, I am evil. Not 100%, but I am
Look
evil.
at his face, man!
The world has been fed many lies about me. I have read very few truths.
Look at his...
Who are you?
Just a guy.
Yo.
Just a guy.
Number 5. In 2009, a woman named Angela Simpson committed a horrific crime when she lured a 46-year-old handicapped man named Terry Neely into her apartment and tortured him for 3 days, until she eventually killed him. The details of the case are horrific. It consists of her pulling his teeth out, stabbing him over 50 times, and strangling him. She even placed a mirror in front of him so that he would see his own torture. It has been described as one of the most horrific murders in Phoenix history, and when she was eventually arrested and sent to prison for her crimes, she gave a number of disturbing statements and interviews regarding the murder. She stated that she killed Neely because he had apparently given information to the police in the past. She also stated that she had no remorse or empathy for her crimes, and that her only regret was that she couldn't kill more snitches. Her interviews prove that she is one of the coldest killers of the last few decades.
Her eyes just give it away. Her eyes just scream. Just look at their eyes on her.
Interviews, and I was with the police, and one of our colleagues talked to you once upon a time. You're very upfront
Very much.
about talking
about this
Her
person.
eyes just give it away. Look at her
You
eyes.
this man.
Yes.
Look at.
You tortured him.
Of course.
There is no ambiguity, and there is nothing you want to. In court today, you said you're not here to pretend to be remorseful.
Of course not. Why would I do that?
Are you remorseful?
Not at all.
Why?
Why would I be?
Well, why did this man deserve to die? You claimed he was a snitch.
Well,
What proof do you have of that?
He told me he was a snitch.
He told you.
On many occasions. But that really doesn't matter. Why did you guys want to kill me? Phoenix wanted to kill me. What's the difference? Everybody has a reason to kill.
How do you feel about spending the rest of your life in prison?
You know, I got a lot of family in prison, and I'm okay with that. I'm
This
okay with
woman
it.
is.
I got many sisters in prison. I can't wait to see them. It's really not that much of a punishment to be sentenced to spend my life with my family.
It's again your candor. I've interviewed people who have committed murders before, and usually they sort of prevaricate or they this or that. You're about as direct as it gets.
Right.
Why is that?
It's only fair. I expect you to be the same way.
Okay. Do you think that it was fair today? It was justice in that courtroom?
No, I don't.
Why?
I should have gotten the death penalty.
Oh my.
Did you want the death penalty?
No, I prefer to spend my life with my sisters, but yeah, I do believe that would have been justice.
That woman's sick. That. All right. Stop. Okay, we're done. Okay. So those were some of the creepiest interviews from people who've committed murder. And stuff like that is just it's eyes. Eyes give it away. Like you could just see just nothing in her eyes. That last one, that girl had no remorse for what she did. And she was, I think, she was one of three that I've seen notice that the reason for them killing, but the other two guys that I remember, if you saw, they killed these people because they were stealing. That one guy who said, I killed the person that cleaned my house because she was stealing from me and my wife. So you just fire the person. You don't kill. Then that other stupid jackass, he murdered this adopted kid because it's like you gotta be kidding me with these. It's just these people are nuts, psycho, crazy in the head. Ain't no way, not human, evil incarnate. But it is true, which with the narrators just talked about. In this country alone, the justice system is so flawed. You heard what they let this guy out because he saved a guard. Didn't think he was gonna commit any murder. How do you? So you let him out, thinking, oh, he's good. He's really rehabilitated. He's not going to do it again. 2 months later, what happened? He goes on another killing spree. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous that how this justice system works. There is no justice sometimes because that right there just proved it. That's ridiculous. That's unbelievable that happened. That's ridiculous. That's sick. You know, I've seen videos where we got to see the last meals of known killers and stuff like that, and those are creepy too. Some videos made it fun, but there have been some creepy ones too, because it makes you like what was going through their head when they asked for this or stuff like that. But just to see some of those interviews where, you know, the guy talked about, I wanted to slit my mother's throat. way, man. Like, just these bastards deserve everything they're getting. And she even said, I should have gotten the death penalty. You know what? Maybe your ass should have. And more importantly, she even went on to say, well, I'm glad to be in prison. I'll be in there with my family because all my family's in prison. Then that just shows this whole damn family's crazy. But you kill this handicapped guy because he's a snitch. Anyway, guys, look, we gonna go. I'm gonna go watch something else to kind of get my mind off it. But yeah, man, like stuff like that is just crazy. And you could say, oh well, this only happens in America, so blah blah blah. No, don't pull that. Don't pull that. But it is, this does show you, give you a glimpse in that our justice system sucks. It really does. Roll with the punches, but overall it sucks. Anyway, y'all take care. Psycho bastards. Psycho. Take them behind the shed and put a cap.